the button didn't work. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the June 3rd. 6-3 threw me off. June 3rd edition of Morning Mindset. I'm your host, Todd. How are you doing today, folks? Today's topic, we're going to talk about spiritware stores. Hey, not a bad little topic, if I do say so myself. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and that is probably going to be an ongoing conversation for a couple days. Because there's a lot of information that's with it. There's a lot of things that are going to happen with it. And I know school is out for a lot. We're still in school, but what we're doing is prepping now for the fall, because if we want to do it, we need to start on it now. We actually should have started on it a couple months ago. So these are some things that we're going to talk about. Next up, I need to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area. We've got the Celsius tropical vibe. So once again, any of you drink producers, you want to send us some samples to try out, we're all ears for it. And then your 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? And mine has been fluctuating based on more stuff that I open. So right now, we got stickers that need to be printed. We've got glitter HTV that needs to be printed. We've got DTF and UV DTF that needs to be printed. We've got supplies that need to be ordered, and we've got quotes and invoicing that needs to get done. We got a busy day today. And on top of all that, we aren't sure if we are helping out at school this afternoon. I made a light day for today and tomorrow for field day so we can help out if needed, but it's very weather dependent, and we're going to have scattered storms today, so we are not 100% sure. So we'll see how it all plays out. But let's check in and see how everybody is doing this morning. Jeff, good morning to you. 66 and very foggy. Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi in my tumbler. 5 things. Print, pack, mail run. Cleanware laser is going. Fully unpacked laser from crate. I think you got a busy day there. Jenny, good morning to you from Northern Indiana. 65 and headed towards 84, water in the cup. Yeah, we're like 87 in storms. You know it's going to be nice and muggy out there. Barb, good morning to you from North Central Minnesota. 61 degrees, partly cloudy. Water in the bottle. 5 things. DTF, garment alterations, quotes to invoice, work on orders schedule, embroidery machine maintenance. You got to keep up with that maintenance, right? Right? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you do. Hi, Jenny and Jeff from Barb. Hi, Barb. Back from Jenny, and morning, Barb from Jeff. And Jenny, I love spiritware stores. My kids are done with school. Makes sticking to a schedule harder. Yes, that is on the topic of working for. We're going to have that coming up on a couple shows. Is working from home, especially in the summer with kids home, because that's something that a lot of us deal with. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. We're to 78 there in Florida. Now, on this spiritware talk, there's something that I've been working on behind the scenes probably like 2 or 3 years now, that I need somebody to remind me of in our mentorship call here at 9:30, so that way I can bring up, I got some things I want to work on with it, and I need your guys' help, so remind me that. If you would be so inclined, please. Yeah, because, we know how I am for stuff. So, spiritware stores, at the end of the day, let's just start with that. Before we say end of the day, let's get into the thing that is the thing, right? So, why do you need to do it? Well, I don't think everybody needs to do it. And you may be like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, because some people they don't have the back end to understand how to do it. They're just not there yet. And anybody can do it. You want to make sure that you have put the procedures in place. We've talked about in previous shows on setting up liquid stores for this. So you want to make sure that you have all this set up. When you're going into this things, you're like, hey, I want to do spiritware for school. Okay, so what do we do with that? I'm going to bring up my notes, and then we'll be able to make sure I don't move my notes, and then we'll be able to see. So here's some things that you should do if you want to, if you're really looking at getting into the spiritual things. First thing is you need to research and understand the needs, because every school is different, right? Some, middle schools, elementary schools, high schools, all have different style tastes, all have different wants, different needs. So learn what types of spiritware items that the schools, the teams, the organizations, they need and they want. You can never go wrong with your basics of your t-shirts, your long sleeves, your crew necks, your hoodies, your hats. Those are kind of staples that you have in it. What you need to do is create some samples. right? So design a few samples, and you can use mock-ups. You can use a place like just drop Place It. You can use a site like Place It, where it can give you more realistic looking mock-ups for it. You can do real ones and give them to them and show them to see it. We've done that on a few times where it's like, here, yep, you guys pick out, see what you want. So design some of those items so that way it can show off what you're doing. And then you're going to present it to the decision makers. Hey, we can set up you a team store that looks like this. So you can build a generic one all out, make up the school name, make up the mascot, and just have it there as your basic site. This is what we can do for you. And then it's easy enough to show, and then you can just create that for it. As far as getting into places, you're going to want to have to, you really need to build those relationships, right? And this isn't always easy, because there's been times we've been in places and a new PTA president has come in and they already have somebody that they work with, and so we're out. Sometimes as sports happen, school, seniors graduate out, new freshmen come in, there's new team moms, they already have somebody that they worked with previously, and then that's how it worked. We worked with somebody for cheer for 6 years, and then when their daughter was out and somebody new took over, then they already had somebody they were working with, so we lost out on that. So that's just something to keep in mind. You're going to want to connect with the people at the school who are the decision makers, whether that's a PTO or a PTA, the individual groups, because a lot of times where you are not able to maybe get the main contract for everything, they're like, hey, we're already using somebody. What about some of those underserved groups, like chess club, cross country, tennis, ones that aren't the big money producers like your baseball, your basketball, your football. So, get to know who those are, get to know the managers, get to know the athletic directors, understand what they need and how you can help it with it. And the easiest with this is you're going to tell them, hey, we can set you up an online store. Because you're going to create that easy to use online store for them. So the coaches can coach, no more chasing checks, no more figuring out if that's a J or a G or what that is. You're going to build it all online for them. So it's super simple, super easy for to do. You're going to make the store user friendly. You're going to make it simple. You're going to offer payment options for it. You're going to offer customization site parts for it where they can add names and numbers to things. And those are all parts of the upsells. Something you can do when you're putting these together is you can offer deals, bundles, discounts, right? You can provide, hey, maybe you have some stuff you want to get rid of. And so you're like, hey, limited supply on this. It's going to be marked off of this. Hey, buy a t-shirt and a hoodie. It's this price. So you're going to save money buying it. Anything you can do to up your value, and they're going to get more for their value, and you're going to create that higher ticket thing. Something else that we need to talk about is how are they going to promote that store? This is something that this is my little thing that I've been working on the back end of things, is like, how can we get, this easier for people to do? And because there's so many programs on there, whether you're using Inktovo, Chipley, Stalls, Order My Gear, there's a bunch, they all have things to help you able to promote those store matters, flyer templates, email templates, social media post templates. So we're trying to create like an all-in-one. So, it's easy to do, and you can just, here, all right, this is the stuff you should send out, when you should send it out. Here's the schedule to send it out. It'll really help with them selling more, because that's what you want. The more they sell, the more they make. So you're going to do everything, but it's up to them to drive traffic to the site. So anything that you can do to help with that, QR codes, messages, anything of that, so it's not a super hard thing to do. But it does take some time, because it just isn't going to happen overnight. Like, when we were first looking at this, like a summary timeline of all of this is, if like here we are in June, right? We're in June now. So, it's like 3 to 4 months beforehand. You should be researching, planning. Who are the people you need to talk to? What are their needs for it? Those 2 to 3 months before, that's when you're doing your design work, your proposal creation, you're sending things out for them. That month or two before, that's when you're setting up stores. That's when you're setting up samples so you can send them to them. That month before everything starts, we want to get some marketing behind it so you can say, hey, this is what you're going to do. Send this out to everybody. This is going to start now. Typically for us, we like to, if we know when a school season starts, sports season starts, whenever anything starts, we like to run it in 2 shifts to start off with it. So 2 weeks leading up to whenever that event starts, whenever that season starts, whenever school opens, let's have something run up to that so we can sell for there. And then they have it for that first day of the season, first day of school, first day of whatever. And then the one right after that for those that missed out on it. So that's how we kind of do those go to back ones for it. And usually we leave those open for 2 to 3 weeks. So you'll keep it open 2 to 3 weeks. And the reason I like the 3 weeks is because you're guaranteed to hit a pay period, right? You're able to, some people get paid every other Friday. Some people get paid, the 1st and the 15th. By having those 2 to 3 weeks, you're catching everything for it. And then while that's going on, you've got those 2 to 3 weeks, you're processing orders and that. And then you're going to have everything back to them in 7 to 10 days, follow up, and then rinse and repeat. So it gives them a timeline. Here's how things are going to work. Here's everything set for you. You're going to be really set, ready to go. Now, we'll look at things, why should you do this? Every school has a sports team, right? They all have groups. They all want to show off school spirit. And you can be the facilitator of that. You can provide the shirts for them. You can provide the hats for them, the bags for them, everything they need to show off their team pride. And this is where us are the experts. They don't know. They just know what they want. So we're here to help them do with it. It's wanted all year long, from beginning of the school season to the end of the school season. Sports season the same way. Everything's in there. So there's ample opportunity for it. Parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, everybody loves showing their support for their schools, teams, players. So when you're able to provide these types of things for them, the school, sports, organization, whatever it is able to make money. They're able to get a product that they like and love, and you're able to have some business. It works out pretty good. When we're doing these stores, back in the day, it was one shirt with one design, and that's what the order form went home with, and that was all they had for options, right? Well, now, since we can do everything online for them, we can offer them a wide variety of products, hats, jackets, bags, T-shirts, hoodies. You name it, you can put it on the site. I just remember when you're adding these things to it, make sure it's stuff that you like to do, things that you're efficient at doing. Don't add things that are tough to do, especially at scale. Something takes you a long time to do. Think, what happens if there are 100 of them gets ordered? Are you going to be able to keep up with that production of it? So keep those types of things in mind. That online sales allows for so much more opportunity for sales because we're just able to push out codes. You're able to get grandparents and family that are no longer in the area. So, hey, our son is playing soccer. Here's his name, number on the back of it. Grandma, go ahead and order a shirt to support him. You can put it. That's how online sales work. You're able to reach more people outside the area because you're able to ship directly to them. The school doesn't have to worry about handing any of that stuff out. The schools don't have to do anything with it. And one of the big things is it's that community engagement, right? It all shows people, hey, you support this school. Hey, you support this organization. Hey, you support this team. So it creates that, the community aspect of it. Everybody's there. Game day, everybody's in the same stuff, same things that you've done. So, you are going to build that reputation of we're in here for the schools. We're in here for you guys. We're in here asking what you guys want because we want to give you what we want, not what we think you should have. At the end of all of this, it is pretty simple. You just need to get out there and do it. We're going to talk more about this. So as you have more questions on the spiritware side of it, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear what you have, what your thoughts are on it, what you want to know more of, and how we can help with it. So kind of today was just the overview beginning of why you should do it. So hopefully I gave a little information, was able to do some stuff for you. If not, let me know in the comments and we'll do our best to make it more. But we're going to check back in, see how people are going, and we're going to talk, right? That's what we're going to do. So let me know what you thought about that. Good morning, Jerry. Hello to you. Do I think Shopify is better than Ecwid for stores? I do not. And here's my reasoning behind it. Shopify, you're going to spend $30 per store. Ecwid, you're going to spend $15, right? If you need that option for it. There are better options out there. Like I said, we're really close to just making the leap over to Chipley 100%. Yes, it's going to be $1,000 onboarding for it. Yes, they are going to take a percentage of the sales. But yes, it is going to be way easier to manage. It's going to be way easier to set up. And by easier, I mean efficient. And by efficient means cheaper. So, yes, we may be paying a 3% fee on things, but at the same time, it's faster to do. It's all in one place. It's a dashboard with it. So there are other options out there. If you're not doing a whole lot of stores, I think Ecwid is a fine thing, especially when you can start it for free, and they have the 5 items now for it. So that gives you your T-shirt, your long sleeve, your crew neck, your hoodie, and a tumbler or hat. So you can pick between those are 5 things you can set up for them. Makes it super simple, and you can do that with a free site with Ecwid on it. Did I click that? Did I click that so I could see it? I thought I did. And Jerry, personally, I will take Shopify over or a website over Etsy. I have seen where some do both. I like the idea of Spirit Source. And I haven't seen anybody put anything straight on Etsy for it, but what I have seen is that we'll put individual items on Etsy. So if we did this T-shirt for whatever, especially if it's a generic one, we won't run into that because our high school is Moline Maroons, so there's not a whole lot of schools that are Maroons. But if we look at our elementary school and our junior high, our elementary school is Bobcats, so we can just do a generic Bobcats design that doesn't say Butterworth on it. We can sell that shirt, so we can open up to everybody who's a Bobcats, the mascot. The thing you're going to run into is colors. That's something there. But for the most part, I have not done anything with Etsy. I should bring somebody in to talk about Etsy because I'm not too sure. Jerry, I looked into Ecwid, but I already had a Shopify site. Yeah, and if you already have it, like for us, we're moving the printing side over to Shopify because of what we need it to do, and Ecwid's not able to do it. Corey's retail side of things, so that's where our team stores live. That is still all on Ecwid, and all we do is here's a category for merch stores, team stores, and then underneath that category, each school event. Right now, I think we have a couple school things still on there, and then a couple musicals. So those are all in one place for it, and that's where we'll get to the point where it just makes sense to switch over to a thing like Chipley. And Jerry says, Barb, I agree about Etsy. I am currently using the paid version of Venture Ecwid. And I like it, yeah. And so, Jerry, what we do on that is, in fact, let me see if I can do this, and we will go. Okay, I'm just seeing if we go over here, stores. Yeah. So if I nope, I don't need to do that. What I need to do is share the screen, and then you'll be able to see. Let's see, settings. If I set up a store, should it mimic that store? Or if we set up as a store, should we mimic that store on our website? I'm not sure I understand, Jerry. Help me understand, and I will do my best to answer. So share screen on this. It should let me share screen. Maybe it's not letting me share screen. There it is. So let me share the screen. So on that, let's see how the screen looks. Everything is here for it. We are going to make me this little guy in the corner. So for us on this, we have our merch stores and our team stores. So if we go into our merch stores, you can see these fundraisers that we're running. Team Gabby, Kelowna Cat Recovery, and we have our Moline shirts, and we have the 2 musicals, In the Heights and Little Mermaid. If we come back into here for our school spirit ones, we've got our Moline ones, our Wilson Middle High, our Butterworth, and Moline Coal Valley Preschool. So those are the ones we have set up. When you go into each one of them, it gives you the options on what, shirt style, things like that are with it. So it depends on how far you really want to go into it. Like when we look here, Wilson, we can go in here. We still have the holiday merch, we should get it. But for each organization, so we have band, basketball, choir, girls basketball, orchestra, wrestling, swimming, spirit wear. And so you can click on it, and then say, oh no, because we took it off. That's right. Yeah. So right here, basketball. You can go in and you can see all the options that are available for it. So that's how we set it up on Ecwid. It makes it pretty simple, pretty easy to do that way with it. Tim, good morning to you. Tim from Toledo, 67 up to 80s. Nothing today to drink yet. Tim's still got time. And Cindy says Etsy has been changing more and more. Not sure what's going on. What do you mean by changing more and more, Cindy? Let me know what you mean by that. All right. And Tim uses Chipley, and he says he really liked it, the few stores that he's used. And I'm hearing very positive things about it. One The only issue that I have with something like a Chipley is just their payout schedule of it. I think it was a payout on Thursday or Friday. So that means if I would need to end all stores on Thursday if I'm going to order products on Friday. So that way the money comes in to pay out for that, because I don't want to put out my own money for, a lot of this stuff. So that's basically, we run pre-orders, right? They're ordering stuff in, we order stuff once a week, we put it in there for it. And that's the only real thing that's holding me back. Like right now, if somebody goes and places an order on a site, they place an order, that payment comes in, whether it goes through our Square or PayPal, then it just deposits right into that. With Chipley, we don't have that option. You don't have that option of syncing up with other payment methods. So, that's the only real downsides. Like that was In the Heights. Tanks have been a huge topic of discussion at rehearsal. Woo, I love it. I love it. For those that don't know, when we were showing that off, Cindy is who we're doing musical stuff for. Hi, Tim and Cindy. Good morning. Good morning. So, there's a lot of opportunity for this now, and it just doesn't pertain to spiritware stores. Once you kind of understand what you're doing with it, you're building out the stores, you have this, you're able to, use it for other templates, whether those are benefits, medical benefits, or those are organizational things. So, somebody just wants, hey, can we do shirts for our corporate wear? We want to be able to put them on here. There's a school that we do, and on the business side of it, so for the staff, they will get a $20 voucher, and then they can either pay for, they can get the shirt, then there's that, or they can apply that to something else. So they can apply it to a t-shirt, or, t-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve, as much as they want, and they get that voucher for it. So you're able to do things like that. Then, makes the event. So maybe you have a nonprofit that's having an event coming up. There's a lot of things happening this summer. Hey, if you see somebody that's trying to raise funds for something, hey, what do you think about this? Can we set up a store for you, and we can provide the apparel, and then you'll make some money off that. All you have to do is just send traffic to it. You don't have to buy in bulk. You don't have to do any of that. And you never know. It can happen from there. The other thing is, when you have this at that, someone says, well, how do you work pricing on it? Well, this is completely up to you. And these are things that we can talk about later on, and in fact, Wednesday's show is going to be about goals. It's the first Wednesday of it. But Friday, I think we're going to talk about percentage versus dollar payout for those. I'm a dollar payout. I've also been a percentage payout. So we go back and forth, and we'll talk about the ins and outs on that on Friday. So hopefully you're able to answer some of those questions as well. Tim said they pay out every week. So if you run a 3-week store, you have 2 weeks of money to use. I also try to close doors around that time. That's only because I do a couple at a time. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is, so if they pay out on Thursday or Friday or whatever, if you close that store on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it is, then when that store closes, the next day you're paid for it, and then it just rolls right into it. Not if it pays out on Thursday, don't close the store on Friday, because then whatever orders come in, after that on that Friday, you're not able to get the money for until the following week for it. And that's something with everything. You learn when your payout parts are, you learn what is happening, how to do it, how to manage it, and you just build your system around it. It's not too difficult to do. It can be when you're first starting out and first starting getting busy, but a lot of times, most all of us have done it. We've come across something that is not as good as the next, and we've messed things up with it, and you're going to do that too. We've messed up things with pricing. We've messed up things with, in general, just trying to get things done. One issue that we've run into is, just sizing on things and making sure, that people understand, how sizing works. And for our little tip for them is we tell them, hey, here is the spec sheet with the measurements. Take the shirt that you feel the most comfortable in, lay that down, measure it, and then take those measurements over to the spec sheet. Then you'll be at least closer than just, I don't know. So, trying to help them out with it. We had, in this last week, we've had a lot of, hey, I ordered an adult and I needed a youth. Hey, I ordered a red and I needed a blue. Hey, I ordered this and I needed that. Hey, the cutoff day was 2 weeks ago. Is there any way I can still get something? And so we've done our best to accommodate it, and you'll run into a lot of issues, but don't get scared of it. If you are doing anything in apparel decoration and you're not doing spirit wear, you are missing out. Okay, should we mimic the store on Ecwid on our website to increase exposure? I would not. If you have two different things, right? I mean, you could do a link on there, but I wouldn't set up two different stores for it. And for me, it's more about here. How can you push that? Anything that we do for any of our events, anything that's coming up, we always work with them. Hey, where's links where people can buy tickets from it? Where's people where they can find out more information from it? So we can share it on our social media channels too. But it's really up to them to push it. The more that they sell, the more that they make. So of course they want to do it. So what kind of tools can we help them with? And at the end of the day, that's where we're tool providers for them to be able to get it for it. All right. On that note, we've got a busy day here. We've got our mentorship call that starts in a half an hour at 9:30 a.m. If you're interested in becoming a member of that, you can sign up right there. Patreon.com/FatDadMC. If you want to find out more information about everything that we offer, you can do that right over here when I hit this button right here, fatdadcd.com. Head over to fatdadcd.com. You can find everything that we offer, do, and that. We will be starting shortly. Wednesday, we're talking goals. So bring your goals if you haven't done those. That's what we need to know. We're talking goals on Wednesday. So until then, peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time. I just missed the button on it. There we go. See you guys.